as always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Baker Mayfield. Let's go. Into the playoffs, win the division. It was a little ugly early against the Saints. Too bad I couldn't watch it. I had to watch a worthless Dallas Washington game instead and follow the Bucks on my phone and on the internet. But they came back, true fashion. Baker was great, had some fantastic throws in this game, and they're in the playoffs, baby.
He it felt dicey there for a second.
Yeah, I did.
And it felt like he willed that team to a win. Especially with some of those plays, some of those touchdown plays in that second half. Like he is just creating stuff, man. I mean, that was a lot of fun to watch, but there was nothing better than the Mike Evans catch to get him over 1,000 yards and the celebration that came after it. That was so cool. And I think that catch, I think because he hit a couple different incentives, $3 million on that play.
That feels good.
Oh
That
my
feels
God.
really good. Yeah, that was awesome. Baker, I mean, 4,500 yards passing, over 40 touchdowns passing. Um, and like you said, felt like he willed that team to victory. It felt like because they were banged up for a big portion of the season, and it felt like he was kind of a one man machine for a big chunk of the season, carrying that team on his back, which is that's how he likes to do it. And there it's going to be tough this year in the NFC. There's no doubt about that. But man, I'm really thrilled with what he's done there at Tampa Bay and resurrected his career. I mean, I think you said it last week. Probably one of the most loved players in the NFL. Like people love to root for him. His teammates love him. Tampa Bay loves him. It's really fun to watch.
They get the Commanders in the wild card round in Tampa. They open as a 3.5 point favorite. I think that's a game I expect them to win. I guess you never know with Daniels, man. That guy is he. Whew.
You just can't let him go crazy on you. Which easy to say that sitting here in Oklahoma, not having to defend him, but uh, he's a crazy player, does all kinds of crazy stuff, crazy impressive stuff. But Baker in that passing game, getting healthy, getting their guys back, I favor him to win too.
Did you ever expect there to be so many Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans in the state of Oklahoma? I see those jerseys all the time.
Well,
Are we a Bucks state now because of Baker Mayfield?
we've had a connection there. I mean, Leroy Selman, Gerald McCoy, now Baker's there. There's been a little bit of a Tampa Bay connection, but there definitely is with Baker for sure. I'm down with it.
I I'll be rooting for him. I don't have any connections to the Commanders. I got no reason to root for them. I'll be rooting for Baker and the Bucks. I mean,
All
come on.
day,
What are we even
all
talking
day,
about?
all day. And you never know, man. Once you get in the playoffs, you get hot at the right time. You never know what could happen.
I am I am thrilled that Baker is having the type of year he's having. How in the hell did he not make the Pro Bowl? What are we even doing?
I don't know. I don't know. But we had six guys make it from OU. Should have been seven.
I Maybe I'm missing something. I'm not watching as much NFL football as I used to watch. It feels like that guy, especially you mentioned the injuries. It feels like that guy should be a Pro Bowler. That's
Yeah,
just the sense I get.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Snubbed. That's good. You know how he is. He's got that up in the locker for sure.
No doubt. All right, who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
I had to go with Cooper Rush. He's started, I believe, the last 9 games for the Dallas Cowboys. And, they're playing in a meaningless game against the Commanders. And out of nowhere, he doesn't get to start.
Really?
Very interesting. And just so happens that had he got the start, he would have hit his incentive for playing in, I believe, 55% of the snaps of the year. And it saved Jerry Jones $250,000. But according to him, post game, he had no idea, just didn't know.
There's no way. There's no way he didn't know. Does Jerry Jones think we're all stupid? Does he think we're all idiots?
Yes.
Fair.
The answer to that is yes.
Maybe he was
So
too busy being on the latest episode of Landman. He's working on his acting too much to know that Cooper Rush just needed a few snaps for 250 grand, which that guy absolutely deserves.
deserves it. He's played some good football.
Yeah.
And, part of me, I understand it financially from Jerry's part, but don't tell us you don't know. He's in a spot where he's got to do everything he can to pay for the quarterback that didn't play for him this year, so that's just kind of where they're at. But yeah, basically robbed Cooper Rush of 250K.
That's not cool, man.
No,
I feel like that is something like you're at that point, you're challenging the football gods.
that's right.
The man
Good
has
way to
has
put it.
put in an incredible amount of effort to go out there and keep this thing afloat for the Cowboys this year, and you do him like that,
And he won some games for you
right?
when it was over. Season was a wash. It was done. And he came in and actually had some really nice games. Played well, got some wins for you, and you bench him in the final one and take 250K off his plate.
The
Wrong.
funniest part is him saying he didn't know.
Oh,
Really,
now
Jerry?
what happened? What was the deal?
What?
No, we just wanted to give Trey Lance a shot. Hadn't played all season for us. He threw just a handful of passes the entire year, but we'll give him the start in the last game. And it just so happens to take 250K from someone. Brutal.
That's a bad weekend.
That's the NFL, though, man.
That whether Jerry Jones realizes it or not, that's something that will get talked about by the guys in the league.
Yeah,
And something like that, now money talks, we know how it works. If the Cowboys are offering you the big contract, you're probably going. If it's the biggest offer you're getting. But if something's close, you got the owner and GM doing stuff like that. Like that's something that could sway a guy to not go play in Dallas.
and here's the thing, like, just
Maybe I'm overreacting, but it's not cool, man.
you're not overreacting to Cooper Rush. I mean, but you just mentioned the celebration for Mike Evans, right? I
Dude,
mean,
Sean McDermott punted today. And the only reason I know this is because Sam Martin was a teammate of mine in Detroit. He's the punter for the Bills now. They could have kicked like a 50-something yard field goal, and instead he punted so that Sam Martin could hit his incentive for down punts inside the 20.
there you go.
The Bills are damn good.
You want to pay your guys. You want them to feel like they've got the support in the front office to make money, and you're not going to be handicapped at moments to try and keep money off the table.
Not
Bad
cool, man.
business.
Not cool.
Bad.
Just not cool. And the worst part is acting like you didn't know. That is nothing happens in that building that Jerry Jones doesn't know about. Like he is notorious for controlling everything around there, and he didn't know that. Really? Come on, man.
250K too. It's not like it was a $10 million bonus.
Your team is worth like $10 billion, dude. Pay the man his 250K.
Pay him. Pay him. It's
Maybe
not
we
even
can.
worth the bad publicity, you know?
That's
It's not even worth it.
that is the best way to put it. Like now, I, you search it on Twitter right now. Everyone is just absolutely hammering Jerry Jones for it.
That's right.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
I've signed up for so many subscriptions over the years that I've lost track which is why I need Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. It lets you see all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all your accounts. I got set up on the app, and it really is a great way to look at your finances as a whole. You get alerts if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you're close to going over budget. Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you. They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save. Then you can ask them to negotiate for you. They'll deal with customer service so you don't have to. Cancel your unwanted subscription and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/game on today. That's rocketmoney.com/game on, rocketmoney.com/game on.
and we are brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings, Prize Picks has made it daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinion into real money all season long on Prize Picks. You just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. This week, I'm looking at the football board and selecting Will Howard more than 1.5 touchdown passes
Yeah.
and Drew Aller more than 10.5 rushing yards. Prize Picks puts its member first, so all your withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When your picks hit, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. My winner of the weekend, we haven't talked about the Notre Dame Georgia game. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Look good.
The knock on that program had been, hey, they're solid, they're good, but they just don't have the talent to hang with the big boys. When they get to the big stage, they just don't have the guys. And even though Georgia hasn't been the Georgia of the last couple of years this season, they're still an extremely talented football team. And Notre Dame handled them. That was a really nice performance by Notre Dame, a really good win for them, and a fantastic win for Marcus Freeman. And the most important, the biggest win for Notre Dame in a long, long time.
Long time. That was big time. Like how they ended the first half and started the second half was the football game.
No doubt. What was it? They kicked the field goal with 40 seconds to go in the first half. It's 6-3. Sack strip fumble on Stockton.
Oof.
RPO slant. Left guard may or may not have been 6 yards down the field when he threw it. But just, you're right, dude. Right before that, the half, just a massive swing for it to be 6-3. And all of a sudden 13-3 in the blink of an eye. And then you return the second half kickoff for a touchdown. And the game was over. Like Georgia, with what their offense has been all season long, they weren't coming back from that. Not against that Notre Dame defense.
Nope. The Notre Dame's defense was great. I will say though, I was surprised that Gunnar Stockton has a freaking hose, dude.
Hold on. You're surprised that Georgia has a talented player on its roster? What do you mean you're surprised?
I was surprised that Gunner has a gun. Dude, he was ripping the ball a couple of times, man.
He was.
He's got some velocity.
I thought Riley Leonard managed the game really well.
Mm-hmm.
Played
Couple of
within
nice
himself,
runs.
right? Took care of the ball in the passing game and then made some really, really important plays with his legs. Him going flipping to get that first down in the fourth quarter was pretty cool. But I don't really think if you're Georgia, if you're Kirby Smart, I don't think it's overly complicated. You didn't have your starting quarterback. You turned it over twice and you gave up a special teams touchdown.
Yep.
Now, the jumping off sides, when Notre Dame ran the punt team off and ran the offense on the field, I immediately thought of you and I wondered if you tried to just take your TV off the wall and throw it, if you threw something at the TV, if it was more of a scream into a pillow situation for you. I couldn't stop thinking about how you reacted to that moment because I was watching it go, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. They're not going to snap it. Don't jump. Don't. And Ted, they jumped.
They jumped.
Unbelievable. How that
Well,
happens, unbelievable.
I was screaming before that they should not they should have taken forever to match the personnel. You get when someone comes out in a special teams play that requires a full 11 change and then they do a full sub, sprint guys off, you are going to get a really long time to get your personnel right. And they sprinted back out there to get lined up.
Why did they do that? And Kirby
Panic.
Smart, hey, he had to be incredibly disappointed in the lack of execution in that moment.
Mhm.
They should have gone as slow as possible. It's not like a Mayday field goal.
Right.
In Mayday field goal,
That's the
you
one exception the offense gets.
right, you do not get the opportunity to match. Right? When they run a third down play, they have no more timeouts. They run the field goal unit out there because you're supposed to assume the next play they are going to kick a field goal.
Yep.
That's why that rule is the way that it is. That's why the defense doesn't get to match. That is not what happened. This is punt team. You come out in a punt formation, you run the offense back out. You have all the time you need to get your guys out there. And how many we see it time after time after time, these defensive linemen taking forever to get off the field. And Georgia's defense, that their punt return team couldn't have sprinted off the field any faster than they did. It was crazy to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Got to know the
Which,
rules, man.
here's the thing. It's a big game. It's a big moment. It's fourth and short. You absolutely have to get a stop. You have to talk about these things. You have to go out there. The team has to know the rule that should we get this, we have a ton of time to match. It favors us because of the play clock. We can take as long, well, not as long as you want, but because of the way that they did that, it's considered they're trying to gain an edge on the defense. The officials are going to give you a way longer than usual to match personnel. So, but it's a hopefully a good learning experience for everyone else that was watching the game, and a reminder that your players need to know that if it comes up again.
In that moment, Marcus Freeman outcoached Kirby Smart.
Yep.
I mean, it's what it looked like to me. But it looked like Georgia was not prepared for that moment.
They had practiced it clearly, and we're ready for it. Now, it helps when you got the lead and you got the football and you can stand over there on the sideline and discuss it a little bit, but still, I mean, they knew what they were going to do and they handled it nicely.
Notre Dame's never joined in a conference.
There's no reason to.
This first experiment with the 12-team playoff for them is going rather well.
Yep.
I think they're perfectly content with where they're at.
And like their big rub previously is like they're never going to get a bye. Who the hell wants a bye now? Right?
Exactly. So I was really impressed with Notre Dame. I thought that all of those injuries that they've had would be pretty significant, and they came out, they handled business, and I still don't think they can win it all. There's only four teams left. I just I know they're favored over Penn State. I will not be surprised at all if they win that game. I just don't think they can beat Ohio State.
I think they're the second best team,
That's fair.
but no one can beat Ohio State if they play how they've played the last couple of games. Nobody. Now,
It's interesting.
there's no guarantee that they play that way the rest of the way out, but I mean, when we've seen that we've seen what the best college football has to offer this year, and it's Ohio State.
Yes. The last 2 weeks of Ohio State have been scary.
Scary is the right word.
Notre Dame can't match that. But I think they're more than capable of beating Penn State and go and play for a national title,
Yep.
which is a wildly successful season. But I am.
We're
It's weird. No,
guaranteed. Well, I guess I don't know. As long as if Texas wears their whites, we're guaranteed an outstanding uniform matchup for the national championship.
that's important.
Very important.
What happens if Notre Dame comes out in one of their like weird alternates?
Yeah,
How mad
wouldn't
would it
shock
make you?
me. It wouldn't shock me, but yeah, it's like, what are we doing, guys? Come on, this is it. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Your branding. Here it is. There's going to be like 3 million people watching. I'm joking. There's going to be a lot of people watching.
Congrats, Notre Dame. Heck of a
Big.
season. My loser of the weekend. I'm sorry to do it, Ted, but I got to go with your New England Patriots. They'd lost six in a row. They'd been accomplishing the mission. Just all you have to do is lose to the Bills. And I know the Bills are resting a bunch of guys. I get it. But you lose and you have the number one pick in the draft. And they won. Joe Milton did not get the memo, apparently. That guy went out and played his butt off, scoring touchdowns, doing backflips, baby. But not only do they not have the first pick, they don't have the second pick, they don't have the third pick, they have the fourth pick now. Titans have won. I think Cleveland's two, and the Giants have three. So instead of just losing the game and having the first pick, they are now picking at number four. And after the game, I don't think it was that big of a surprise, but they fired their head coach.
Probably
John
fired him
Mayo's
for winning
out.
the game.
Maybe.
That was not the plan. What are you doing? Yeah. I don't even know what to think about who they're going to hire as head coach, but
Vrabel. It's got to be Vrabel,
I
right?
think so. I mean, it would make sense. I mean, that's the name that you have to go to, but yeah. It's funny. I feel like this happens like every year, doesn't it? Like someone's got it in the bag, first pick overall, and go out and play their best game of the year.
The
Houston
last
did it, right?
the last week of the season has become wildly entertaining in the NFL for a multitude of reasons. Of course, playoff seeding, right? You've got divisions on the line, like how's the seeding going to work out? Then you've got draft order. And the contract incentives have become one of the most fun things to monitor the last week of the season. Like I love how everyone puts them out there so everyone's aware of them. You find yourself cheering for random guys. Like it's great. I love that. I love the contract incentive knowledge spreading, and then we all get to cheer for it. It's fun.
The more things that you can have to be interested in games that otherwise aren't interesting, it's a win.
The Bills lost the game, but what a win for them. They're locked into the 2 seed. Josh Allen did play the first play of the game. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
Comes in, hands it off. Doesn't want his start streak to end. 115 in a row now for Josh Allen.
Impressive.
With the way that that guy plays, crazy.
Does Eli Manning have the record? I feel like, or
Quarterback starts in a row.
in a row, or maybe it's Favre. There's some crazy numbers out there, but I think Eli Manning, I don't think he ever missed a start. Something crazy with Eli.
Peyton Manning had 208 consecutive starts.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. 200.
Brett Favre had, oh, I think this is just all time
Overall
consecutive
start.
start streaks. This is great podcasting. Brett Favre, 321. Is that right?
321. That's crazy.
Phillip Rivers, 252. And there you go, Ted. Eli Manning, 227. Dang.
But it still
Oh,
kind of
no.
feels like
Eli Manning, 222. Peyton Manning, 227.
it
Interesting.
feels like Josh Allen is still like just kind of getting started, but I mean, what's that? 8 years now of starting every game, pretty much.
With how that guy puts his body on the line a lot of the time, that's pretty damn impressive, man.
Well, I mean, Favre's not, but the rest of those guys are all big dudes, you know. So
Add start streaks to the intrigue of the last week of the NFL regular season.
that's right.
That's when we get a nice little start streak update by guys playing one play in the game.
I
Love
will
that.
say though, I'm the Saquon Barkley deal. I'm I'm kind of I'm kind of glad he didn't play. Like if you don't do it in 16, you shouldn't do it. If you have the chance, does that make you know what I'm saying? Like it's just not the same if you do it in more games.
I think it would have been cool if he did it,
Still
but
would be
I
cool.
I would rather see a healthy Saquon Barkley heading into the playoffs.
Dude's a freak.
I still can't believe he did that in a game. I've never seen anyone even try the little.
You
I
can't
think
even
about
do it
that
on the
play way
video.
too often.
I the right before that was like incredible. Had everyone on the side and was already like ooh, and then he like levitated, spun the guy like,
Did a toe touch in the air.
and the guy comes run. It's one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Not even in football, just generally speaking.
NFL playoffs are about to be here. I'm excited.
Love it. Best show in the world.
We'll have to talk a little more NFL now that the playoffs are here.